Good evening, everyone. Hopefully, this is all familiar settings that you're all used to. For those of you who don't know, I've been having some water leakage issues in my home, and I've been at a hotel for quite some time. Tonight, we are back here because they have to tear down the walls, and that means we need to empty out all of our cabinets and whatnot. So that's what I've been doing. And we will continue some more after the stream, actually. But I figured this could be a cool break for me, just doing something that I enjoy. Like, who likes taking down cabinets, right? Anyway, see, for those of you guys who are first new to this stream is all about building keyboards from the hardware to the software end. And tonight, we are doing another VIA port. So here we go. Let's see. Let's talk about what we're drinking tonight. What we're drinking tonight is another local cider. Not just local, but actually one of my favorite ciders. This is Locust Cider. And I saw this. Mojito. I was just really curious. You don't normally name a cider after another drink. So I figured I would give it a try. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, this is $7 from Costco. I don't intend to drink the whole bottle tonight, but you never know, right? It definitely tastes like a mojito, like a carbonated mojito. Very interesting. Very interesting. All right. Let's get some music going along here. Merlin, the title says S7 Elephant, but I don't see an S7 Elephant in front of you. That is correct. That is because quite some time ago, or rather, I actually just got this last week, but since I haven't been home, this is the only time that I've actually been able to open it. Some time ago, Exclusive sent me a bunch of PCBs, and this is the package that it came in. And supposedly, there is an S7 Elephant in here. Let's find out if that's true, because if it's not true, I'm not quite sure what I'll do tonight. Alright, let's open it up. Well, of course, there are other exclusive boards in here, so who knows. I might do one of those instead. Yeah, it's good to be back home, but it's also hella hot in here. All the fans running. I'd say we're about 5 to 7 degrees hotter than it usually is, so I'm trying to keep an eye on my camera here. I've got all my cooling gear in place. Hopefully it's sufficient. Right now it's about as hot as a hot summer day in Seattle. Ooh, look at all these. Look at all these PCBs. The first one, I would assume is the elephant, because it's got silkscreen of an elephant. I'd say that's a fairly reasonable assumption. Why else would you have an elephant on a board that's not an elephant? There we go. Mudkip Mao, thanks for joining in. Javon, thanks for joining in. Who else is here? Zark, thanks for joining in. Alright. Looks like I was sent a bunch of PCBs, so let's do a quick unboxing of what all these are. I actually have quite a collection of PCBs, but no boards to account for it. Like, Merlin, do you have a Jane PCB? Why, yes, of course. Do you have a Elephant PCB? Why, yes, of course. Do you have any Wilbur PCBs? Yes, of course. But do you have any actual boards? Not really. Alright, oh, this is packaged nice and tight. Oh boy. Zark says, ooh, did you get a new shipment of Luddites for me to win? I have so many Luddites for you to win, Zark. All the Luddites you could dream of winning, I've got them. if that is something you do dream of doing. Oh man, so much tape. So much tape. For the next 30 minutes, I will be unraveling this package. I really hope not. Alright, still gotta cut these edges. There we go. All that tape, holy cow. Come on. There we go. Whew. There we go. That is the S7 PCB. What are these other PCBs? I actually already know what they are, but I don't know which one's which. Oh my gosh. More cutting of tape for the big reveal. You guys already know that they are exclusive PCBs. Any guesses as to which exclusive PCBs they are? Layers and layers of bubble wrap, holy cow. Alright, I can unfoil it now. This first one, this first exclusive PCB is a, what is this? Singapore, your Knox report is actually scheduled for next week. This looks to be an exclusive TKL, whatever it's called. What's this other PCB? It's also green. Oh, no, wait, there's even more. Ah, several exclusive PCBs. The black one's a 32U4. Also a 32U4. Oh wait, this one's hot swap. So hot swap TKL, a solderable TKL, and this next one is another solderable TKL. What is the difference between them? Let's just take a look really quick. Any variance in the bottom row? Yes. This one's a Sangan, and this one's a standard layout one. Awesome, okay. So I believe this might be 3 PCBs for the same product. This is going to be interesting to do in QMK, because typically we try to keep one firmware per PCB. Once I actually trace all of this out, there may be some commonality between the firmwares, but who knows? We won't know until we do that. And that is not what we're doing tonight. We're doing it some other time. Tonight's task, as you guys can see, is having to do with the S7 Elephant. Right there. S7 Elephant. Let's look at this PCB. It's running a Atmel Atmega 32U4. It's got mini USB? That's interesting. It's 2020 and we still have boards with mini USB. Looks like it's got RGB underglow over here. But typically that's not, well, it's RGB underglow capability, but it's on top. What else am I seeing here? Multi-layout support for the bottom row. Crosslifer, thanks for following. I see backlighting support. Not a bad looking PCB, to be honest. Cool. Let's see. If you guys have never heard of the S7 Elephant, let's see if I can get some photos for you all. Here we go. Here we go. This was a group buy run by Jackie, and this is actually the second time it's come back. If you're looking at this board now, you're like, oh my gosh, why is that so thick? I guess that's why it's called an elephant. It is super heavy. I believe that not only was it available in aluminum, but it was also available in brass. And if I'm remembering correctly, the brass was up to what? 12, 13 pounds, I guess? And if you guys can see the LEDs over here, it's not very noticeable against a white case. Yeah, that's what it looks like. It's a 65%. With macros on the left side. Look at that. That's ginormous. Such a thick board. Oh my word. I remember when the R1 came out, I was legit interested in this because I liked thick bezels. But the more I looked at it, the more I was like, maybe not that thick. Not that thick. Let's see. How much did this sell for? This is $350 plus shipping and PayPal fees. A base kit came with a top, a bottom, a plate, diffuser. Oh, hello phone. What are you talking about there? And apparently the brass parts were not PVD. They were instead E-clear. Very interesting. Secret Blue, I see you there. Thanks for following. These were the colors available: white, gray, purple. This was the PCB. Case came like this. And of course, Mr. Nathan Kim building one himself. Whew. The group buy was open from October 29th to November 5th, with shipping estimated to be at January 2020. So yeah, I think this actually just happened, as I'm just receiving the PCBs right now. As we say. Secret Blue, hello. Quantisizy, hello. Mudkip Mouse says, no such thing as too thick. Oh boy. Oh boy. I think the thickest I'd ever go is probably like Daro 67 thickness, M65A thickness. Anything thicker than that's too much. Like there was that other board. It was also 65% and it had really thick bezels. I think it was called like, what was it? The Level. Yeah, the Level. I think the Level was still too thick for me. Right. Secret Blue says, is that a discipline in front of you? Indeed. It is a discipline. Ham Lover has followed. Thank you, man. Alright. So it's funny. So just a few hours before the stream, a gentleman who is currently on stream, Mr. Mudkip Mao, messaged me and said, hey, Merlin, just wanted to let you know that I've been working on porting the S7 Elephant over, and I know you were sent one. And I'm like, well, coincidentally, we're doing that on stream tonight. This is awesome stuff, because this is the whole point of my stream. I'm trying to teach people how to do this themselves. Hopefully I inspire, hopefully I teach. There are over 800 boards in QMK, and on average we get 30 more every month. You know, we always encourage people to put new PCBs in, new designs in, and if your board does support QMK but is not in there, heck, try your best. Try and go through all of my streams, go through some of my YouTube videos, and try it out. It's honestly not that hard. Sark says, Mech Merlin, we hit 900 last week. 900 QMK powered boards. Oh my god. The 1000th board into QMK should have some kind of special prize or something. Yeah. So as a result, this board is actually already partially in QMK. Let's take a look at that real quick. Mudkip Mao. So I've actually never met Mudkip Mao before, but I have met Mudkip Mao's girlfriend in NorCal. Or was it SoCal? I can't seem to remember. Mudkip Mao, do you remember where I met your girlfriend? Was it NorCal or SoCal? Can't remember. Can't remember. SoCal. There we go. Very nice. So I knew who Mudkip Mao was, but I never really met him. I think I've talked to him off and on in other venues, but never really met him. So I kind of like, when I saw his girlfriend, I'm like, oh, you're Mudkip Mao's girlfriend. All right, here we go. This is Mudkip Mao's PR. He just filed it 4 hours ago. We're just gonna look through it real quick. I may actually check some of his prodding as well, just to be sure, because tonight's goal is to put VIA on it. So if any of the matrix traces are wrong, VIA won't work either. But we're just going to take a look at this. Let's see. S7 Elephant, GB in late 2019, new PCB, awesome. Change aims to bring QMK compatibility as well as allowing for VIA compatibility, awesome. Good to know. Refactored the whole folder into a Rev1 and Rev2 scheme. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. What needs work? Finishing VIA support. We'll look into what you need to do there. Adding more layouts. Rev1 has many more layouts to make it easier for people to customize. If you guys have never seen the S7 Elephant, I believe the S7 Elephant Rev1 has the most layouts out of any QMK board. And to demonstrate that, let me show you. It's S7 Elephant. You go to QMK Configurator. You're like, okay, not bad. Remember, this is Rev1. You click on Layout. Boom! Look at all that. Whoever did this port put some serious effort into this. Look at all that. That is crazy. With VIA, we won't need to do all this. With VIA, we can actually make it a little neater, but we'll get there when we get there. Let's continue looking at his file here. Mudkip Mouse says, I was so intimidated by that. Yeah, seriously, man. All right. So before the stream, I did push a few changes to his PR just to remedy a few things, just README related and vendor ID stuff. So nothing too serious there. But I'll just talk about what he did here. Let's see, updated the README, good stuff. Install examples, good stuff. Rev1, I believe, yeah, this was actually my change. He still had feed here, so I made it what was for Rev2. Good stuff. Rev1. Yeah, this is still the old stuff. Let's see if we can get to Rev2. Ah, here we go. Rev2. A high-end 70% custom board. And looks like it's interesting. It is a 5 by 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16 matrix. Is that right? Oh, here we go. Generated by KB Firmware, JSON to QMK parser. Uh-oh. KB Firmware was a QMK-like tool. Well, it did use QMK, but it never really updated it. It always used QMK from 2017. So some people who may have used KB Firmware in the past to create hex files or, yeah, hex files, you may have noticed that it had many bugs. Many bugs. Yeah. So the thing is, No Roads Left actually used a KB Firmware JSON a QMK parser, and he spruced it a whole lot up. And if you watch any of my previous streams, you'll see that I actually rely on his tool a lot. So this is good. Let's see. Let's look at all this. Yep, this definitely looks like Xenophobia's tool right there, or No Roads Left's tool. Cool beans. Keymap. Keymap's all there. LEDs are functioning as caps lock indicators. Okay. Not bad. What else? Here, let me minimize the screen a bit so I can have a better view. There we go. What I want to see is the .h file. Okay, looks like he's got a layout all. And a layout ANSI. Okay. Yeah, those are the two most common ones. Yeah, those are the two most common ones. Oh, and sure enough, it is too hot in the room, so my camera just did pass out on me. But it's a good thing we're only talking about code right now. We won't be coming back to the main screen anytime soon. Let's see. Rules.mk, boot magic is enabled. Awesome. Okay, this was all generated by KB Firmware. Good stuff. What else? What's this? S7 Elephant.h. Oh, okay. I see what you did here. So, Mudkip Mao, this isn't necessarily wrong, but it is an older way of doing things right now because these are two separate boards. You don't actually need to do this, especially when you're targeting the make to go like make S7 Elephant / Rev1 or / Rev2 : default. This only takes care of when you do like make S7 _ elephant. And we generally don't want people doing that. We want people to be more explicit when they make their firmware files. So yeah, this can be refactored a bit. Oh, what's all this? Oh, I see. This is the Rev1, which got moved into a new directory. So that's why you've got all of these files in red, because these were all just moved. Okay. Cool beans. Cool beans. Yeah. Good job. Good job. Cool. So from the looks of it, it seems as though I won't have to touch anything QMK firmware related, but I do want to flash it. I do want to flash it with the VIA hex file. So let me actually look for a mini USB cable. I don't really have too many of those anymore. Let's see, is this a mini? Yep, this is a mini. You can stick with that. Mudkip Mouse says, having issues without it before. I would look at the KBD67 as an example. Here, let me just show you. You go to KBD67, keyboards, KBD? KBD. There we go. KBD fans, and you go to KBD67. This is the way that we like to do it. KBD67 has 6 different revisions. Look at that. So if you do it this way, you won't need a all-encompassing KBD67.C or KBD67.H. You can just specifically target it like that. But yeah, that's another story for another day. Okay, let's try and flash this. Flash this with your code. Let's... You know what? Let me actually check it out first. Too much stuff there. Let's see. Yeah, oh, camera's still dead. Hopefully that will... go. Yeah, let's give the camera a little bit more time to rest. It's not quite turning on. Make S7 Elephant / Rev2 : VIA. Does it compile? It compiles. Awesome. Good to know. Oh yeah, let me just show the VIA support that you did. For those new to the stream. Okay, let's go back here. Supporting S7 Elephant. Let's look at your VIA stuff really quick. So we already know that this compiles, so it should work. Here we go. Here we go. No, that's default. We want VIA. Here we go. VIA. Okay. So when you guys are doing VIA support for a board, like we're doing right now, it comes in two parts. Assuming that QMK Firmware already exists for your board, all you really need to do is to create a key map called VIA, like this. And the thing is, you need to make sure that you have 4 layers, all populated. In Mudkip Mau's case, he's got a base layer, he's got an FN1 layer, FN2, and FN3 layer. All that stuff right there. You know, you may notice that his upper layers, FN2 and FN3, all just have KC trans, and it's like, Merlin, why do we need to fill it up like that? It's because VIA supports only up to 4 layers, and if you don't specifically define it, you may get garbage values. So be explicit, define your layers, define the key codes within each layer. The other thing you need to do, other than create the VIA key map, is, no, it's good if you put in a README. That's nice. That's makes it all pretty. Not mandatory. What's mandatory is creating a rules.mk file, also within that VIA directory, and enabling VIA enable, like so. One thing I like to see, especially since VIA operates on the EEPROM, and you want to save as much space as possible on things, it's always good to set it to LTO enable, if not already. So I'm not sure if the base file has it in. Let's just check really quick. Because if the rules.mk already has LTO enabled, we might not need it. Oh, here we go. Okay, it's already in, so we don't need it. Oh, this is just extra flags actually. So we actually do need the LTO enable. This stands for link time optimization enable equals yes. And this makes sure that the firmware file is as small as possible. For boards such as the S7 Elephant, which uses an Atmega32U4 microcontroller, this is actually fairly important. So I did notice, Mr. Mudkip Mau, on one of your comments here, you said, Also, another question. For the VIA firmware I built for the Rev2 PCB, the firmware only has 450 bytes free. Is this cutting it too close? If you set LTO enable, you may get some space back. Maybe. We'll see. Yeah. So yeah, that will be my only comment. Cool. Okay, let's get to flashing this board. Camera, oh camera, please turn on. Can you position the fan more at it? Okay. Hopefully that's good. And the camera did come back. Okay, let's do this. Let's plug the PCB in. Oh, before I flash this, I do want to make sure that the PCB works. Nothing sucks more than thinking you have a working PCB, only for it to not work. So let's just do that real quick. Real quick. Test that the PCB works. The RGB LEDs aren't coming on, so that does worry me a bit. Or this could also be a completely unflashed PCB. In that case, oh, there we go. There's an escape key. Just like when actually building your keyboard, you should probably test the PCB works when you're building software for it. See, I see a couple more follows. Amtra, Leva TV. Thanks, guys. Oh, hello. You are not registering. Oh. There we go. Whew. It's a little bit concerned there. All these macro keys, what are they? Oh, they're just numbers right now. So 6, 2, 7, 4, and 1? 6, 2, 7, 4, 1? Does anyone know if that number is significant in any way? Because all the macro keys are in order from top to bottom. It goes 6, 2, 7, 4, 1. Kind of an odd thing to program your macro keys to. Though if you guys remember, there was a PCB quite some time ago in which when I tested its macro keys, it actually contained their password. Mudkip Mouse says, using LTO enable equals yes, made the firmware 4 bytes larger. Oh, oof. Then we may have to remove a few things. Also make sure you're also compiling with the newest version. Jack Static subscribing at tier 1. Thank you so much. Mudkip Mouse says, not exactly sure what those key codes represent. I don't either. 67431. That's it. Oh, look at this, guys. This key on the right side of the board is registering as left alt. Very interesting. Spacebar, 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 all space. That's fine. It's also left alt, left OS, left control. I'm sure one of these guys are probably the FN key, so we should be good. Let's see. Krausifer says, what web page app are you using there to test the key presses? This is QMK Configurators test mode. See, so basically, you go to config.qmk.fm and you press test keyboard. And it brings you to this page right here. If you are an ISO lover, you can click ISO and you'll have a different set of keys to test. All right, I'm gonna say that the board works. Let's see, I see more messages here. Sage of Glass says, any chance you're buying something from KBD fans anytime soon? I'm trying to see if you'll let me save a little on shipping. I am waiting for the Bella. Other than the Bella, I don't think I'll be buying anything else from KBD fans. Wow, this is a big bottle of cider. Probably will not finish the whole thing, but who knows. Okay, let's see. Was there a reset button? There is no reset button. Really? Really? There's no reset button? Reset pad you can short. Where is the reset pad? Anything here labeled reset? Okay, let me unplug it first so I can get a better look. Reset pad, where are you? Where is the reset pad or breakout? Is this it? DG and V. That doesn't seem like it. What are these things? On the back by caps. By caps lock. Oh, I see it. Okay, right there. In fact, it's actually up front as well. Between caps lock and the A key, there are these two pins you can short. Mudkip Mao, if you have this board, can you confirm or deny whether or not the plate allows you access to those? Okay, let's do this. We can... Actually, I should be able to plug it in. Be able to plug it in and just reset it like that. Maybe. Mudkip Mouse says it's not built, but can you look at the plate and see if there is space between the caps lock key and A, I guess. All right. We are going to short it. Short for reset. And then we are going to flash VIA on it. Flash. Will it flash or will it not flash? Look, it's erasing the flash. Yay! Alright. We now... Oh, there it is. We now have VIA enabled QMK firmware. But we don't actually have VIA support quite yet. So that is now going to be the main content of tonight's stream. Getting VIA, or the VIA side, to work. Perfect. No, there isn't a cut to allow for access to reset. Oof. If you are a S7 Elephant owner and you are watching the stream, make sure you have a reset key code programmed somewhere on your board. And just kudos to you, Mudkip Mao. I noticed in your code you actually enabled Boot Magic Light, which means you can hold the escape key and plug in your board and it will go into bootloader mode. So thank you for doing that. Okay, let's see. Let me just set up my screen here really quick. We can talk about things. Alright, so just to begin this, I'm actually going to be basing a lot of my work on the work that Mudkipmao already has done. So I need to look at what layouts he has chosen. So currently he has one layout just called layout, and it seems to support all 1U keys on the right side here. Cool. And the I guess he only has one layout supported. Okay. Really? I swear there was more than one other layout. Oh, I see what happened. So Mudkipmao, looks like you only put support from one layout, even though you actually have where is it? I believe you have two layouts defined. Here we go. So you have a layout all, and you have a layout ANSI. So one thing to note is also that S7 Elephant has a version with blocker. There we go. Oh, I did not change the JSONs. Oof. Okay. All right. Mudkipmao, the JSONs need to match. If you have been using Xenophobia's tool, that tool should actually give you the correct JSON. So just copy and paste that, and you should be good. Okay, shoots. That means I can't rely on looking at this. I actually need to look at this. Okay. Let's stick with layout ANSI for now. Okay. Maybe we'll just look at the original S7 Elephant. Okay. Alright. Mudkipmao, sorry that I'm kind of roasting you here, but here's another issue I noticed. In the S7 Elephant Rev2, layout ANSI is actually has two 1.5U mods to the right of spacebar. However, your definition of layout ANSI seems to have 3, which I'm assuming are what would these be? Just 3 1Us, if I'm not mistaken. 3 1Us right here. So yeah, it might be a good idea to keep the naming consistent between the two keyboards, so owners of both keyboards don't get confused. Yeah. Okay. With that being said, I think 3 1Us is actually the most basic of layouts, so we'll start there. Actually, here, let's look at the group by. What does the group by... Wait, this is shipping batch 2. Yep, this is it. Where... Here we go, layouts. All the layouts supported in batch 2. Wait, this is also... Labeled July 4th, 2018. Oops. Xenophobia says, Mudkip Mao, your PR is also going to get dumped into my new development branch. Alright, let's see. Based on this image that I'm seeing here, okay, this is a little confusing. Hi Olivia, thanks for joining in. Okay. What should I do here? I will just base it on this guy right there. And we'll work forward from there. Is the Rev1 and Rev2 PCBs different? Yes, they are, according to Mudkip Mao. And according to Exclusive as well, since he sent me this PCB. Yeah. Guys, today's stream is pretty much sponsored by Mr. Exclusive and his friend Jackie. Let's see, and Mudkip Mao said, I botched it. Don't worry, man. Don't worry. Don't panic. This is the whole reason why we have a pull request policy. You can fix your mistakes. You can learn from your mistakes. Not everyone is born with QMK knowledge. Not even us QMK collaborators. But Jack might have been born with QMK knowledge. Okay, yeah, I am going to make the VIA portion following this. Okay. Let's stop mumbling, and I'm just going to post this to all of you. If any of you are following along with this stream, I will basically be following the documentation located at caniusevia.com. As I described earlier, supporting VIA entails two parts. The first part is actually enabling VIA in QMK Firmware, and the second part is creating a JSON file that the VIA app consumes. We will now be creating this JSON file that the VIA app consumes. This particular VIA file will need the following required properties. There we go. See that? It's going to need the name of your keyboard. It's going to need the vendor and product ID. It's going to need some kind of lighting defined. It's going to need the matrix, or the size of the matrix. It's going to need the actual layout and all that. Crossover says, I'm your most ignorant viewer. Why use VIA? What is it? Is it better than QMK? VIA is a GUI for QMK. In fact, why don't I just make a little quick demo while I'm at it. Let's see, what board here is VIA enabled right now? Here, since we're doing CFT KB boards, as you guys can see in front of me, I might as well grab another CFT KB board. This is the Romeo. 40% from CFT KB, completely through hole, similar to the Discipline 65. VIA is a GUI for QMK, so your board is still running QMK. And the main difference is that instead of storing your key map in Flash, VIA allows you to store your key map in EEPROM, allowing you to actually change key maps on the fly. So as a quick example of that, let's do, let me just set this up. Come on. There you go. There's VIA. Okay, why did it not detect it? No, it would make sense to actually plug in the other side of the cable, right? Okay, here we go. See? So this is how VIA works. I actually have a YouTube video that shows how it works, but I might as well do a live demonstration. You open up the VIA app, you take your cable, you plug it into your VIA enabled board, and as soon as you plug it in, VIA detects it as your board like this, right? You have access to all of your layers. You have access to macros and all that. So for example, layer 0, right? That's currently a Z key, right? I'm gonna type in Z, enter, right? Let's change it to an A key. I'm gonna type in chat again, pressing that same key. All of a sudden, it's an A. And of course, who puts an A key there? So let's set it back to Z. Or, let's see. Let's press it again. It's back to Z. Basically, you can dynamically change your key map whenever you want. So this also applies to lighting. This also applies to macros and all that. Before VIA, to do any of this, you would have to bring up QMK Configurator, change it in your key map there, download the firmware file, flash it on, you know. But now you can literally change this on the fly. So that's one of the strengths of VIA. So here we go. So what we're gonna do tonight is we are going to add on to that, to the S7 Elephant. So much overlap in a hurry. How does keyboard layout editor relate at all? You will need keyboard layout editor to construct part of that JSON file that I linked here in that link that you guys can see in chat. So let me pull everything back up and we can start chatting about that. Yeah, so that link I just posted is basically just this page. Yeah. So where I like to start is actually here. We are going to start by creating this layout right here. And to answer your question, Calcifer, to create this thing right here, you are going to need keyboard layout editor. And as you can see, I already have, you know, I have something that looks like our board. I just have to do a few more modifications. Let's set that all to 1U. Like so. The first thing you want to do is you want to create a keyboard layout editor layout that most closely mimics your board. Let me make it larger. There we go. Is that large enough? Do I save all my layouts in my gist? Yes, I do. I save them as gists. Okay, what now? You want to steal mine, but there would be no point in stealing mine, just because all of mines are particular to a board. Hold on. Let me configure this a little bit better. Just moving my windows around, guys. Alright. What we are going to want here is a side-by-side view of your keyboard layout editor file, or layout, and your keyboards.h file. In this case, this is the rev2.h. And we want to pay attention to these things over here. This thing called layout all and this thing called layout ANSI. In QMK, this is called a layout macro. And you'll see that there are two parts here. This top part is called the physical layout, and this bottom part is called the electrical matrix, or the physical matrix and the electrical matrix. We only want to pay attention to this top half here. And based on his little ASCII chart here, this... Wait, Mudkip Mao. That's still two 1.5 U's, so you may want to change this as well. Change that to 3, because you've got 3 right there. Okay. You'll notice that this physical matrix has a bunch of items like K00, K01. Each of these refers to a specific key. So the first number stands for the row number. The second number stands for the column number. So K00 stands for the key connected to row 0, column 0. Can you comment it in my PR, says Mudkip Mao? Yes, I will. If I remember after the stream. Alright, okay. So the way to do this is, it's fairly self-explanatory. Let me just populate a bunch of them really quick. Oh my gosh, it is so hot in this room. Camera, don't die on me. Like my cider that I just pulled out of the fridge at the start of the stream, roughly 50 minutes ago at this point, is now warm. That's how hot it is. That's what happens when you have 11 fans running in your apartment trying to dry your water damage. And we have all the windows open too, so it's hot. Okay, so what did I just do here? I labeled everything at the top left with two numbers, 00, 10, 20, 30, 40. These correspond to row number and column number as well. And I've kind of just populated all of them the same per row, but we are going to want to look back here, right here, or right here actually. We want to copy this. K0F. I guess I don't know my hex numbers as well as I need to. All I know is A is 10, so that's A, B, C, D, E, F, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so you want that first guy right here is actually 015, because it's K0F. And everything else looks kind of explanatory. 10, 11, 12. Oh, camera dead again. Way too hot here. I missed that. How did you label them so fast? Oh, basically you can click on the first item, hold your shift key, and click on the last item, and it will select all of them. And then you can edit it like that. Xenophobia says, I should stick a VIA JSON generator on my KB Firmware JSON parser. Yes, please. I will love you forever. Not that I don't already. Please automate my show. So I want to get to a point where I can like start the stream and be like, all right guys, we are converting this board into QMK. And I press a button. I'll be like, thank you guys for joining my show. Good night. That would be like the coolest thing ever. Like, yeah, just like run this script and you'll be fine. All right, where was I? Yes, 015, because that's K0F right there. Everything is good till 12. So let's start labeling it. Yeah, this is going to be a very manual process. Though I keep threatening on screen that I will one day write a script to do this. But if Xenophobia wants to incorporate it within his tool, More power to you. Mr. McGurk subscribing at tier 1. Thank you very much. I also see a one coding monkey has followed. Thanks, man. Countdown longer than the stream. Yeah, my countdown is usually set for roughly 5 minutes. 10, 11, 12. Let's see. 10, 11, 12. We skip K0D. We jump to K0E. So that jumps to K014. Oh, look at that. Did I miss something here? Of course I did. I'm off by 1. Good job, Merlin. You've only had part of a bottle of cider. You're already messing things up. Do you use Streamlabs OBS? I intend to, but when I started streaming, Streamlabs OBS was not available on macOS. But they now do support macOS. There are some bugs that I read about, so we'll see. We'll see when I do it. $10, 11, and 12. Okay, K0E was 14. And the last one is K4E. So that would be 414. Okay. Okay, not bad. What would you need to port a keyboard to VIA? I am literally showing how to do it right now. Have I ever ran into issues with Twitch Prime subs not showing up in chat or as an alert? Yes, I do. I do use Streamlabs stream labels, so that seems to show me things, but I have noticed it misses on some alerts. Okay, K1F can be 15. I'll just go 1, 0. 10, 11, 12. 10, 11, 12. Okay. Good stuff here. 2, 3, 4. And 11 and 12. Those last two keys are K2C, so that's K, so that's 2 and 12, followed by K1E, which is 1 and 14. Okay. It's really interesting why he didn't choose to keep it all the same row. Okay, that third row down is going to be 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. That's new. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 10, 11. And then K1D is 113. Followed by a K2E. I screwed up. That's 211. 113, 214. There we go. There we go. A Vidget S25 has followed. Thank you so much. Okay, here we go. 3032. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Three, 4. Almost at the tail end of this. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and those last two keys are 3D and 3E. 313 and 314. Yay! And now we are at the final row. Okay, 404142, 46, 48, 49, 10, 11, 12, 13. Excellent. 12 and 13. Perfect. Okay. We now have a base layout for VIA. Perfect. Okay. So one thing you want to do for VIA is you need to make sure all the mods and the alphas and the accents are all colored in correctly. So let's do that. And let's color them all in. Actually, that's supposed to be A. There we go. And the accents. There we go. Good stuff right there. Okay, so the beauty of VIA is that you don't have to pick the layout that fits you the most. You can pretty much pick the layout that you need. Crossfor says, why would you have to color them in just for looks? Yes, just for looks, and it is something that the VIA team prefers. By default, and it is your only choice actually, if you go on VIA, the only key set available is Olivia. Surprise, surprise, right? Okay. So here we go. This is where we need to start adding in all of the extra stuff. Here. Okay. So in order for you to choose your layouts, you actually need to add a little more data to this. By a little more data, you need to populate the bottom right-hand portion. Bottom right-hand portion is right there, and you also want to label it with 2 numbers. And that is not the right place. There we go. Right? What these 2 numbers stand for is the first number is the option number, or is the group number, I mean. And the second number is the option number. What do I mean by group number? What do I mean by option number? Think of each key that you can change as a group. So our first group for this is backspace. So let's call backspace group 0. And since 2U backspace is the default option, it's option 0, 0, 0. you can make 2U backspace into 1U backspaces. In this case, it is still part of the same backspace group, group 0, but the option is now 1, like so. And we also need to figure out what keys they are. So I'm going to refer to layout all over here, and they seem to be K0D and K0E. K0E is actually this backspace right here. So we are going to do 014, 013, like so. Boom. Okay. So the way VIA likes to do it is groups have to go from top to bottom, left to right. So the next item we need to go for is the enter key right here. Omar Pixel says, how difficult is porting to VIA? I am literally doing the job right now. I am about, let's see, actually doing any VIA work. I think I'm about 20 minutes in and I'm almost done. And that's with me explaining like a whole bunch of stuff. So one thing we're limited here is we need to rely on Mudkip mouse tracing. And it looks like Mudkip Mao did not include ISO support even in the layout macro titled all. Mudkip man, you are a good man. You are a very good man that you have chosen to exclude ISO. I salute you. But unfortunately, we do need to support our ISO brethren, so I need to leave my prejudices aside. So, yes. I need to relinquish those prejudices. Okay. It's not very clear here which of these keys is ISO, which of these keys is not. So, you know, let's just actually draw it out first, right? Let's actually draw it out first, like so. And of course we want that colored, so, or I guess accented, accent colored. Boom. Let's draw that out first. The JSON is confusing. Yeah. It does get confusing. Okay. All right. So I explained earlier, your backspace is group 0. So now this second group is group 1. So let's call that group 1. Oh, that is not the place I want it to be in. There we go. It needs to be in the bottom right-hand corner. Group 1, option 0. Option 0 is always the base layout. Like that. And this one is also part of the same group. So group 1, option 1. Like so. So now we have to figure out what keys these actually are. Crossfire says, gonna drop off. It's very interesting, Mac Merlin. Thanks for posting to Jackie's Discord. Yeah. Okay, so in this case, I may actually have to poke at the PCB since the code itself isn't very revealing. So camera, turn on. Please turn on. There we go. Oh, nope. Oh, oh, is it back? Come on, come on. Boom, there we go. Okay. It's multimeter time. We gotta figure out what this ISO key is. We gotta figure out what this ISO key is. And also what this key is. Basically, I'm trying to figure out what, here, let's go look back. I'm trying to figure out what these two keys are. All right. So from my, from my initial findings, it seems that the ISO enter shares the same key as the ANSI enter. Perfect. So we can just label it 113. Now we just have to find this 1U right there. He seems to be, who does he share? What is he? He is the same column as, oh, really? He's also column 12, but the row that he is a part of is, he is, what? Is he really? Yep, he is 2. Part of row 2. Okay. Cool beans. Abbott S25 says EPBT ivory on the elephant. That would actually be very fitting, but I don't know if that, not sure if that promotes the cause. Okay, I think this might be all that I need for the multimeter, so I can go turn off my camera again. Okay. All right. Should be good there. The next group we want to talk about is the left shift, which is right here. So let's just, there we go. Actually, that would be 1.25 and 1, like so. Okay. Let's just move everything. Okay. So at this point, we already have 2 groups. We've got group 0, which is the backspace group. We have group 1, which is the ISO/ANSI enter group. And now our third group, known as group 2, will be the left shift. So once again, let's label this correctly. This is group 2, and since this is the base layout, it's option 0. The option keys, or the optional keys, are option 1. So it's also group 2 and 1. You're just giving the elephant back its tusks. Oof. All right, here we go. And let's take a look at what these keys are. 3-0 and 3-1. Easy peasy. 3-0, 3-1. Excellent. And now I believe this might be the toughest part. Vim Warrior, I see you. Thank you. Thank you for joining. The toughest part is actually doing this bottom row. And we're going to say this bottom row is group 3. So the way I do this is I do copy and I paste, like so. Okay. We know that this can be labeled group 3, option 0, 3-0, because it is the base layout. And I need to look at that group by again. What are those layouts? Those layouts are, that's the base, and we have the blocker. Okay. Is that? That's two 1.25Us. No option for step shifts. Yes, because when you're programming, or you mean, yeah, stepped caps lock. When you're programming a stepped caps lock and a regular caps lock, it's just the same thing. It's not like you're changing its key size or anything like that. Okay, looks like this bottom row only supports 1.25. Easy. And I may just be able to guess what their keys are. I believe it should be that. Okay. I think that's it. Hopefully. The layouts depicted don't really say anything else, but when you, the weird thing is when you actually look at QMK config, at the original Elephant, there are a whole many more. So you've got two 1.5s. Mudkip confirms that 1.57U, 1.5, 1.5. Okay, we can do that. We can do that for sure. Okay. Let's copy and paste again. .5, 1.5. Yeah, this could get messy. One point five. It's not super clear in the GB what it supports. It's not super clear on the PCB either. Like, I'm looking at it right now, and yeah, not clear at all. Let's hide that key somewhere for now. Okay, Jackie DM'd him that the 1.5, 1.5 sound 1.5 config is supported. Is okay. Can do that. Is the configuration supported where it's 1.25, 1.25, 1.25, 6.25, 1.5, 1.5? Is that supported? I would imagine so, because it's a fairly common layout. I think let's support it. Let's just support it. Why not? One point five, like so. And let's just throw things around here. That's all neat. There we go. Okay. So what's going to happen is with this as group 3 option 0, this first one can be group 3 option. That's the wrong place to put it, Merlin. There we go. This one's group 3 option 2 and group 3 option 3. And I think with that we should we should be done. We should be done with generic layout support. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Let's do a little bit of, let me organize stuff a bit here. Oh, Andrew says, I saw full Post's board and he had 1.5, 1.5, 7U, 1 and 1.5. Oof. That. Okay, we can add that in really quick, no problem. Okay, let's add that in really quick right now. Copy, paste. Okay. There we go. Okay. And that can be our option 4. Okay, good stuff right there. You know what? I should probably save this really quick. Let's sign in with my GitHub. Save. There we go. Okay, let me continue setting up this next bit. Alright, okay. Alright folks, this next bit is not in QMK Firmware, this is in VIA. This is a completely different repository, completely different group of people maintaining it. So yeah, this is different from QMK Firmware. QMK Firmware folk, QMK Firmware collaborators such as myself do not maintain this. Alright. So in this repo, if you click on the source directory, you'll see a bunch of boards here. A lot of them are separated by vendor, and since the S7 Elephant doesn't actually have a vendor, VIA has a little directory here called Other, like so. So why don't we put a new directory in there called S7_Elephant, new directory. And within S7_Elephant, let's throw in a new file called S7Elephant Rev2.json, like so. This is the file that we need to populate. The way I like to do this is I like to go to a file that I've done in the past, such as 1UP keyboards, 1UP 60 RGB, copying it and pasting it like so. And of course, we just want to edit all of these. This is actually the S7 Elephant Rev2, vendor ID and product ID. What was that again? That was, let's go look at Mudkip Mao's code again. Mudkip Mao has it in config.h, A13B and 8. A13B and 8. Perfect. A13B and 8. QMK backlight RGB light. Perfect. That's good. So what this means is the lighting supports both the standard QMK backlight and the standard QMK RGB light. Rows are 5 and 15. I don't think that's correct. Let me look back at his code. His code states that the rows have 5 and the pins have 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16. 5 by 16. Perfect. We can ignore the labeling for now. We want to delete this key map stuff. Make sure you delete the correct amount of stuff, mainly everything that's in the brackets, in the square brackets. And this is where you want to go back to your KLE that we created earlier. I'm going to go back to your KLE that you created earlier. Click on raw data. And it's not raw data that you want. You want to download JSON, like so. And what is this? Keyboard layout JSON is commonly not downloaded and may be dangerous. Baloney. Baloney. Mudkip now says, wait, where did you get that JSON from? I just created a blank file called blah blah blah.json. And I'm populating it right now. All right. Let me keep it. Okay, so this is the JSON file that I have extracted from KLE. Just copy it and put it within the key map property, like so. Like that, right? And now we want to be absolutely sure that our labels are correct. See, backspace. Oh, here we go. So, usually if the option is only one or the other, such as backspace, split, or regular, you want it to just be a toggle switch. So the way to do it, to do that, is actually setting, if I remember correctly, like so. You want to say split backspace, yes or no. And it's the same with enter key. This is going to show up in VIA as like a toggle bar. We don't actually have a right shift, so we can, or we don't have a right shift option, so we can take that out. For bottom row, this is the one where you've got lots of options, right? So in this case, you want to make an array. The first string in the array is the label of that dropdown, and each successive string in that array are the things you can drop down to. So the first one I would say is 3x1u. Oh gosh, I've already forgotten. Here, let's look at this again. 3x1u, okay. 2x1.25, 2x1.5. Okay, this is gonna be hard to explain, but let's just... This is 2x. Yeah, let's try to be as descriptive as we can here. 3x1u, 2x1.5u, or 1.25u, 2x1.5u. Next one was 1.5u, 2x1.5u by... My naming sucks, guys. And the last one was Oh my gosh. So, someone better correct me, or someone better give a better naming for this. 1U, 1.5U. That's terrible. Terrible naming. Okay. Regardless of what you name it, you just have to make sure that there are enough in that array for as many as you need drop down. Are you trying to name each bottom row? Yes, I am. I'm almost thinking I should just call it option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4, option 5, because this is difficult. But you know, with all that done, I think we're good. I think we're good. Let's open up VIA, shall we? Let's open up VIA. Okay. So if you guys remember, this board has already been flashed with VIA enabled firmware that Mudkip Mao wrote. So in order to get VIA to read this new JSON, like we can't, like normally VIA reads whatever is in the VIA repo, but because this is all still being tested, the way to do this is you need to go to settings, make sure your show design tab is toggled on, so that you have a design tab right there. Click on design and click load draft definition. And you want to load the JSON file that you just created. So just navigate to that wherever you put it. Hopefully it's in that folder structure that I gave you earlier. And when you click open, and if you did this correct, you should have a graphical representation similar to what you did in Keyboard Layout Editor. So let's open this file. Boom! There it is. We did it correctly. Hooray! Okay. And now the real test is by clicking on configure. And plugging in the actual board. So, yeah, let's test this out. Did we do this correct or not? If we did this correctly, plugging in the board, similar to what I did with the Romeo, VIA will detect it right away. So here goes. Boom. And detected. Woohoo! Not bad. Look at all that. Looks like our backspace is not labeled correctly. What's going on there? Okay, how are our layers? Not bad. Cool beans. Okay. And layouts. Oh yeah, here. This is what I was talking about. See, if you just have one string in there, split backspace, it's toggleable. Oh, here we go. I see it now. Yeah. Enter key. You can toggle it ISO or non-ISO. Right? Split left shift. You can set that up too. And now the difficult part I was talking about. Look at all that. So the reason why I don't want to be too descriptive is you don't have a lot of room here. If you guys can see this, there's not a lot of room here. See? So just typing in 2x 1.5u by 2x 1.5u, it's already hard to read. So I'm starting to think doing it by option number, option 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 might be the better approach. And a user of this will just have to decide visually if it's the layout that they want. Right? Check that out. Okay. Mudkip Mouse says I updated it with the default key map, but not VIA, I think. All right. Okay, so let's test the lighting. Let's test the lighting. Here we go. Solid color. Let's change it to blue. Boom! Automatic changing to blue. Let's change it to yellow. Green. Light blue. Very cool. Very cool. With 2 RGB LEDs, you don't really have much of a choice in your modes. Like, for example, if you were to do snake, this is the saddest snake you will ever see. It's not even moving. Here, let's try on. There we go, there we go. Okay, how about night? Really? Let's try breathing. Doesn't seem to be working, actually. Why is the... The effects don't seem to be working. I wonder if that's because it's only 2 RGBs. But that is hilarious. You can't really... There's... There's not many options. Oh my gosh. Oh, Mudkip Mouse says I disabled effects. Oh, that's probably why. Which makes sense. Which makes sense. Mudkip Mouse, VIA has access to all of these. You have breathings, 1, 2, 3, 4, rainbow mood. You've got snake and you've got night. But you do make a fair point that with 2 RGB LEDs, you will have the saddest Night Rider. You will have the saddest snake. And your breathing is not going to be very exciting either. Andrew says, can that light be configured to be a caps lock indicator? Yes, it can be, but not through VIA, not through QMK configurator. This is something you actually need to code up. Cool. Very cool. Key tester design. Very nice. And just to make sure, yeah, looks like I will need to make a few changes since Mudkip Mal did update a few things. So yeah, we will get to that. But ladies and gentlemen, once again, this was another successful port or another successful VIA support on the S7 Elephant round 2. I will be filing this PR as soon as Mudkip Mal's PR goes through. So that means after the stream, I will have to pepper his PR with all of my comments and findings. But yeah, alright guys. As I said earlier, I'm still trying to get my house in order. We need to tear down our cabinets tomorrow to assess the water damage and tear down some walls. So I will be helping my wife, taking out all of her mugs, pots and pans, and all that. Alright folks, thanks for watching. My next stream will be this coming Thursday. This coming Thursday, what will we be doing on Thursday? Don't quite know. I was doing it mainly as a gaming night, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay guys, let's see how many of you were on tonight. There were 25 viewers. Thanks guys. Thanks for all of your support. Keep an eye on YouTube. All of this will be on YouTube by Thursday. All right, folks. Have a good rest of your week. A good rest of your night. Stay safe. Wash your hands. And keep buying keyboards. Goodbye, guys.